Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. Joining us today is Savitha Balachandran. She is the Chief Financial Officer of Tata Technologies. She's speaking to us a couple of days before the company's IPO, a first from the Tata stable in about 19 years. Tata Technologies itself has been in existence since 1994, working in a way sort of behind the scenes and underlying the technological aspect of Tata Motors cars, Jaguar Land Rover cars, and several others. Ma'am, welcome to BQ Prime.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah. So first up, we know what you do. You are very well into auto, underlying the technological aspect of cars and other automobiles and aerospace as well. Just wanted to know what is your revenue model? Is it dependent on how many cars your clients sell, or is it on a fixed cost basis, on a cost to materials basis? If you can elaborate a bit on that.
Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
We see ourselves as service providers to our customers, which means we work with our clients in the automotive, aerospace, and the heavy machinery space, helping them to build safer and greener vehicles. Therefore, we do not link our destiny to the sales of our customers, but help them in conceptualizing all the way up to engineering of a vehicle for them that they can introduce in the market for their competitive position.
Okay. So your revenue mix, if I'm wrong, just please correct me. It's about 70% of it comes from the automobile companies. You're also diversifying. So can you just guide us through your diversification plans in the future?
We operate and report our results in two segments. One is the services business, and the other is the technology solutions business. The services business is where, like I said, we work with our clients in helping them conceptualize and create vehicles in the various segments. We are focused primarily in the manufacturing space, and the three main verticals that we operate is automobile, which is our most dominant area, and that's where we believe we have tremendous and unique domain expertise. We also operate in the aerospace and in the transport, commercial, and heavy machinery space. Automotive, I think as an industry, we all know is already going through a lot of disruption. And industry reports seem to suggest that that industry is going to go through very, very healthy rate of growth going ahead. And the outsourcing spend, given the capability deficiency that many of the customers and OEMs are going through, means that outsourcing spend is also going to grow at a much faster rate than the overall ER&D spend. So we are fairly confident that we will be in a position to take advantage of the opportunities that that trend is going to represent for us. So I expect that automotive will continue to remain a very important part of our growth story. That being said, we are also very excited about the opportunities and the tailwinds we are beginning to see in the aerospace industry. As we've reported in the prospectus as well, we very recently been empaneled with Airbus and one of the only 17 vendors globally with them in that area. And we're very excited about the manner in which the order book is building up in that space. And we believe that going ahead, we will build a very, very strategic relationship with Airbus as a customer. Also, the investment that Tata Group is making in this space, we believe will open up a lot of opportunities for us. The investment being made in the resurgence of Air India as a business and the brand is something that's very exciting to us. Air India is already a customer, and we believe that there is opportunity to improve and deepen that engagement further as we go along. And the last thing I would say on that matter is, if you also look at the announcements that aircraft manufacturers like Airbus and Boeing have been making about their production capacity constraints and their future investment plans as far as India is concerned, clearly means that India is going to play a very, very important role in the aerospace industry going ahead. And we believe we will be there to take advantage of that.
Clearly, you have your future sorted out. You know what are the places you want to target. Let's talk a bit about profitability in that case. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 18.6% at the end of the second quarter of FY24. Where do you go from here on? How does it compare with your rivals? What are the margin levers that you would employ to maybe shore it or even maintain it?
We've improved our margins, the EBITDA margins, by about 400 basis points in the last 3.5 years. We reported about 16.2% margins in 21, and we closed the 6 months fiscal 24 at about 18.4%. That's clearly benefited not only from the growth in revenue that's happened. We've clocked a cumulative average growth of about 35% in the 3 years, and that's continued into the first half of this year as well. And we've used that opportunity to introduce a lot of efficiency in our operations. And that's included elements such as increasing offshoring. Currently, we have a 50-50 offshoring of revenue mix. We believe there is headroom to improve that further. We continue to also look at improving the unit cost of our delivery by looking at people pyramids, looking at productivity on automation measures. So while I can't speak to any definitive specific number going ahead, our attempt clearly will be to try and keep looking at all these levers and also look at pricing in order to capture and maximize the value that we deliver to our customers to ensure that our margins are at least in line or better than what the industry delivers.
You operate in a very niche segment of the entire technology ecosystem. How difficult is it to get talent and then retain them, given how flexible and there's so many avenues that they also have? So, how are you containing your attrition or attracting talent at the same time?
That's a great question, because the great resignation was
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
we, along with the rest of the industry, had to grapple with in the last couple of years. But it's heartening to see that attrition levels that had peaked to almost about 25% is now coming back under control. In the last 6 months, we've seen our attrition levels fall to about 17%. In normal times, this number was anywhere between 11 to 13% for us. So we believe that we are heading towards more normalized levels of attrition as we move ahead very soon. As far as opportunities for talent is concerned, we believe we provide a very exciting and an innovative space where the top engineering talent has an opportunity to work on cutting edge of technologies when it comes to automotive or aerospace as an industry. The fact that we have a client roster that extends globally. We work with some of the leading R&D players in the automotive space and it's a very great balanced mix of both traditional OEMs as well as new energy vehicle companies. And that's really what most engineering talents look forward to, be able to be part of cutting edge technologies and what's going to be part of the future as far as automotive is considered.
Okay. Finally, I just want to say 1994 is when you were incorporated. It's almost 30 years. What took you so long, first of all? And secondly, what should your investors who are going to buy into the IPO look forward to from you? Are you going to give a guidance on what is coming from you? What will be the order book shape like? What should investors look forward to in the earnings? So what took you so long, first of all? Yeah.
Well, that's a question for, I think, our board and the promoters to answer.
Yeah.
But I can just say, representing the organization, that we're extremely excited at this opportunity to represent the group and be part of a public market in India at a time when it is so exciting to be in the engineering space. Coming to your second question, at this point in time, I'm not in a position to provide guidance about what would be made available going ahead in the future. But we will ensure that there is corporate governance that Tata Group stands for. That's evident. And as management, we will continue to, of course, focus on our operations and ensure that there is relevant data points available to our shareholders from time to time so that they have clarity about how the business operations are being conducted and what the future is shaping to be.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking with us. That was quite an insightful chat. I'm sure our viewers and listeners will be looking forward to the chat as well. And all the best for the IPO on the 22nd.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. This is Tushar for BQ Prime.